I'm ignited and I'm writing the idea. It's not the same when I get back to it after, let's say, a couple of days. So, right now, my process has um, evolved into creating in the moment. That's it. If I feel a spark, I just create. That's it. That's what I'm doubling down into. Instead of just collecting like an ideas bank and then trying to expand on them, it's in the moment done, irrespective of what time it comes up. That's what I'm leaning towards now. It's not like I'm already doing it. I want to, and I am slowly starting to get there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The only problem that I see with following this spark, at least in my case, when that spark arises, is what if it doesn't arise often, and I would like to post more often, just to, you know, increase, I don't know, frequency, visibility, whatever. For sure, it's more strategic lenses here, but yeah, I was always thinking about how to maximize on both of that. So how to have both, how to have like great frequency of posting as well as post really from your heart and with following your spark or whatever. Yeah.
I hear that, but I trust my own rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah. I respect that. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I would get too comfy and just wait until probably, oh, is this a spark or is this not? But no, I'm not. I'm just I'm just opposing the two different perspectives here for the sake of not being right, but for the sake of people seeing the different think different approaches and how both can work, right? And yeah. I personally found myself very content with this type of content that I'm posting right now, with raw in the field reports every single day. First, I don't need to think much about it. Second, there is always something to share because I'm on the I'm achieving something. I'm building, literally building something, which which killed two flies with one try, with one shot. And the third one is it's bro doesn't care much about how many characters I will post in on the X. I can just express everything in camera and ship it to my audience and show my whole self, my whole quirks as well that maybe I cannot show in the text so much. And I love that. I feel much more relieved in that way, in that regard. Yeah. Maybe you can tell more. Maybe you can more describe how is your experience of when you maybe get an idea from the point of you getting the idea to the point of you publishing it and sharing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a very similar path in that aspect. I think our words are different, but like you said, you create every day, and you said we always have something to share. So that's why I don't feel like, oh, when will the idea come? Because we always have something to respond to life. That's how I create. I respond. My response is my creation. So if my life is enriching, then there's always something to respond to. That's what I share. If I'm like, oh, I don't know what to share, then it's a sign. And that was the topic of my newsletter, which I wrote today. Like there was a day or two where I felt like that. Oh, I don't know what to do or what to share or what to create. a deep uncertainty. And that's when I knew that, oh, I'm flying in the no fly zone. I need to realign myself. So I paused, and lessons and insights came through that. And I took that as that's content for me. So I'm journeying this life, whatever insights and revelations that come to me, I share that.
Yeah, man. And the funny part is probably when you think about what you should share when you are stuck in that state, probably then you shouldn't share anything at all. I mean, because you already made yourself stuck. You need to unstuck yourself in a way, unblock yourself. Yeah.
That frequency
Th-
actually carries forward in the work. So it's better to take a break or something like that.
yeah, that's what at least I learned along the way. Listen to those signals and where it comes from. Essentially, does it come from comparing with other people? Oh, this guy posted 5 newsletters this month, and I posted only one. Oh, I need to compete with him. I need to do more, like write more, challenge myself, or all of that. And that's where I would like to introduce also to anyone watching this, how you don't need to stick to one platform essentially, because every platform can be different, and it often is very different. So you can treat different platforms differently. For example, I feel much more relieved when writing newsletters when I know that I want to maximize on the the truth from my heart with zero pressure, when I don't need to feel any pressure to publish it, and that where I can maybe write it for weeks if it feels right. If it feels right to write it in one evening and publish it, then do so. At the same time, posting daily on other platform feels natural as well. So it's kind of finding your way in this whole crazy age of social media where uh, you can attune to your own feelings first and feel the platform as well. Maybe you like, I recently also discovered Substack. It's amazing for me because I don't know, it feels a bit different, maybe interfaces, different colors. And it's psychologically, it stimulates you differently. So maybe there's all sorts of things that can influence your content creation. And yeah, find one or two that suits you the best, where you feel the most natural and where you enjoy essentially. That's how you make it easier for yourself to to make it like a game, as you would say, like a play. Maybe you stopped liking X for some reason. Maybe you see too much controversy there, or you don't know, like maybe you would like some other ideas. And trends also change on different platforms. You know, I've heard that Substack now has a lot of spiritual people, like spiritual topics, and people posting in that space, which is very unusual, right, compared to other platforms. So yeah, a bit got a bit into the rabbit hole, but yeah, I think we stayed on the track at least a bit. But yeah, when we said about when you are thinking, so you're already in the thinking stage, thinking mode. Oh, what should I post? You shouldn't be posting at that moment. That's my opinion. That's like a signal. Okay, you're already thinking about it, which means probably that piece won't be too enjoyable to you to write, and probably if it's not enjoyable to you, probably it's not gonna be so great, and probably your audience might not feel it, right? You know?
I'm with you on that. There could be two reasons for that thought or doubt. One is it's truly out of alignment and I'm trying to perform, or there are some new limiting beliefs like fear of being seen, stuff like that. So, in both the cases, it's better to pause and work on them. And then, with that energy of, like you said, effortlessness or ease, with no need for it to do something. So from that energy, sharing it out of service, we are talking about that. So,
Yeah, interesting. When you say out of service, what I find very that advice very valuable for me wasn't always the most driving force to post. You know, it is driving me, but I found also curiosity, playfulness as well. Find it, find play in everything. Maybe gamifying it a bit. So yeah, people can explore it themselves, really find and track what they like and why they like it when they are using different tools, maybe those same platforms. You know, where do you feel most natural yourself as a viewer when you watch other people's content as well? Yeah.
through the different motivations, but why I said the word service and the energy behind that was primarily self expression, which involves whatever you said, the playfulness, curiosity. I say self expression is one of the biggest service you can do to the whole. So it's not the typical service as in I provide something to you. Me expressing itself is a big service to the whole, not to a particular individual, let's say.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Self-expression is probably the best wording. Uh, because in digital, so you post somewhere on the platform, okay, people see it, but they are not like, they are not like your friends. But anyways, you spoke with them because you self-expressed yourself. You shared your thoughts, opinions, and consequentially, you feel heard. So it can be also a great way to make yourself feel heard in a way. You know, maybe you don't have friends in your life to speak about certain topics. You know, you lack that those relationships, and you can post on Substack about spirituality and attract audience and feel heard and feel. I think that's a big topic here. Feel like really self-expressing yourself. That's why I love using different platforms because it makes me feel fulfilled, where all parts of me can shine. You know, I can. Oh, was a very good day because I posted some stupid post on X, but I also did a reel on Instagram, and I also maybe wrote some short post on Substack or finished my newsletter. Boom, great. I love this day, for example, right? You know, like because as I said, it's different. You know, it feels different. Every platform feels different. I think many people would agree. And not to mention that feeling heard, seen as well. That's inherently in social media as well. It's one of our innate needs as human beings. So it's magical that you can do it as well in a digital world. where you basically don't know those people, majority of people who you interact probably you haven't even met in your life. But okay, that's why we have cameras and conference tools like this one. But yeah, magical. It feels kind of unreal when I don't want to get into another rabbit hole, of course, but our parents couldn't think of that, of this, never ever. I feel much of gratefulness for that. I speak with a guy who is in another part of the world. Right? I'm not sure if he is AI. His name is Ragal. Uh, he laughs so nicely, smiles, you know. But it's real.
Definitely grateful for whatever is happening to technology. I would say majority of my network right now is thanks to internet.
Yeah, I think it's a, it's really about exploring your whole inner self, getting in touch with all those parts that are holding you back, working yourself like deeply on all kinds of fears, limiting beliefs. That all of that will serve you in every single aspect of your life in the future and in the present as well. And of course, it translates in the content creation as well. Mm. But when it comes to sitting down and producing something, and uh, you will eventually come to the point where you don't think about, but you don't see that act as, oh, I need to write content. You see it more like sharing your heart or sharing the truth, or sharing the progress, whatever. What it's find what is easier for you to start with. What form of expression, what means of expression is, what format, whatever. But most importantly, like what means, how when I, how what are when do you feel most comfortable to share? Like in what environment? What is that? Try different platforms, um, see how it goes, and most importantly, on your journey currently, what is something that you would like to share the most and talk iteratively about? What is as Raghav said, what is the biggest spark inside of you that's been for a while and that you want to share, and how can you send that to the what is the best channel to send that to the people out there? You don't need to see it as audience or following or potential buyers. You can see, okay, I'm building my tribe, building my clan, whatever. And from that, buyers will come, likers will come, people liking you will come when you are showing up as your full self. That will naturally come when you don't pretend, of course. But for the beginners, is the toughest because when you just start out, you start exploring one platform, and you follow some people, you look up to them, and then subconsciously you try to compare, like, oh, I should be doing like him, this and that. This is his journey, this is mine. Okay, I should probably. align my journey with his, like blindly copy pasting everything. Not so useful, I would say. At least wasn't for me. I'm assuming it will be useful for a majority of people. Anyways, I don't wanna. We are on time. We are. Uh, it was my pleasure, Mr. Regal. See you next time. Bye bye.